New products today from Armani Beauty and Westman Atelier. Today with me, Rebecca, on Not Fit for Print Beauty. I'm a fashion and beauty editor who has worked for nearly 25 years with some of the biggest names in fashion and beauty, and I have written for and edited some extremely important, I think, newspapers and magazines, but you know, print, as they say, is a little bit dead. It really is, guys. I'm sorry to say it. So I have brought a digital version of what I do right here to YouTube so that you have a little something, a little digital beauty magazine to look through every day or so on YouTube. Okay, so let me tell you what we got. We're going to jump right into the demo. I am really at the end of my wear test right now, and it's looking pretty good, so that's a spoiler alert. We have two products. The colorful one we will look at outside in the warm California sunshine. But we're starting with a product I have been dying to show you. This is the Armani Beauty Golden Hour 24-hour lightweight skin tint with hyaluronic acid. I think its friends just call it the new Armani skin tint. I don't think we have to be so formal. This is $49. It comes in 20 shades. I got the L2 Light. It's bronzed up a little bit. I say this in the demo. I seem to be losing my touch. I'm off on my shades all the time. I think I'm making it work with some bronzer, but it's a little too light. So if you are my skin twin, L2 Light, a little too light. But like I said, $49. This has a radiant finish. I would agree with that. Light coverage. Though they say it can build to kind of light medium, it is a very light coverage. You'll see in the demo it's kind of almost watery. But it's really hydrating, plumping, and smoothing, and illuminates and has light catching pearls. I think that's probably true. And a skin-like serum to even out the complexion. I would agree with that. This reminds me a little bit of the Lisa Eldridge skin tint, but I didn't like that one. And I like this one. So I wonder what the differences are. We'll talk about it in the demo when we get to it. The other thing I want to talk to you about is, well, it's kind of a shade extension, but I'm going to argue that it's actually a new product. This is the new shade in the Westman Atelier Liquid Superloaded Tinted Highlight. It is $58, Westman Atelier prices, and it is newly done up in the Petal shade. The Petal shade is, of course, very familiar to any fan of Westman Atelier. They have done lips in it and cheeks colors and all that stuff. This shade, though, is more like a blush. And the reason I said I'm going to treat it kind of like a new product is that every one of the shades in the, and there are like, what, 3 or 4 other shades in the Liquid Superloaded Tinted Highlight serve a different purpose, according to Gucci Westman. So, you know, you have other shades you can mix in with foundation, other shades smooth or warm or lift. This shade, however, is meant to be a blush or blush topper. So like a highlighty blush. And in the video or in the demo, we are going to do it just as a blush, highlighty blush, but then we're also going to pair it with the actual cream blush shade Petal from Westman Atelier because they do so much with that. So you can see it both ways depending on how much of a fan and what your Westman Atelier collection looks like. Now, we're going to go outside into the warm California sun, and I've got a really messy swatch for you. And usually I make nice, neat swatches outside. I'll tell you why it's messy, though. So let's go outside into the warm California sun and take a look at it. This is a purposefully messy swatch of the Westman Atelier Liquid Superloaded Tinted Highlight in the new Petal shade. The reason it's so messy, and I'm turning it around on my arm there, is I'm showing you what it looks like straight out of the little dispenser, and then different ways that you can kind of shear it out. So like a little bit sheared out is kind of like a blush, and then underneath there you see when I'm turning my arm, that's kind of what it can get sheared out to as a highlighter. So you can just kind of see it in various stages, and the more you kind of shear it out, the more you change the look of it. Could you mix this with a foundation like you could the other Liquid Superloaded Tinted Highlighters? Sure. Gucci Westman is saying that this one she sees, though, as a blush/blush topper. So that's going to, I mean, you know, it's makeup. There's no real rules except what you put on yourself. So you can do whatever you want. You don't need my permission or Gucci Westman's permission, but I'm just kind of showing you that. Now, I am, like I said, towards the end of my wear test, I'm really pleased with both of these products, but there's some drawbacks with the Westman Atelier. We're going to get into it. I filmed the rest of the video already, so I can see into the future. Let's go ahead, make sure you're subscribed, of course. Let's go ahead and get into those demos and talk more about these products. I'm really excited to test this foundation because I've heard really good things. And I didn't try the shade, but I'm really interested in that. I haven't tried the shade yet. Oh, I hope it works. But I'm interested in the viscosity of it. That's a good word, isn't it? It seems so serumy. It's a little light. Gosh, I've been having trouble lately. If you've watched, I had a good run, guys. I had years where I was, especially during the COVID times when you couldn't get out to the store, where I was just picking my foundation shade and I could do it almost blindly and I was doing it right. And lately I have been off, like way too light, way too dark. I don't know. I've lost my touch. Ooh, what a beautiful, I don't think it's going to matter too much because this is such light coverage, but we're going to try to build it to medium. Okay, so how did I do? I'll have to look in my own mirror here. Oh, it's not that bad. I mean, it's a little light. I think I could have, you could see it, you know, where I didn't really spread it out. I mean, I think I could have gone a little deeper, and in fact, I think I probably need to, but I don't think we're too bothered by it, are we? All right, we haven't done this side of the face. This side of the face is just morning skincare. I got nothing else on my skin. I'm trying to get my hair out of my face. This side has one little layer, but supposedly this is buildable to medium, right? So I'm really interested in how fluid it is. That's maybe a better word than viscous. When you first put it on, as you see it kind of pool up on my face there, it's a little too light. And it might become really too light as I build it, so we'll see. And that will let you know too. But I mean, there is only 20 shades, and they're very stretchy. But I could have gone darker. Who am I kidding? I don't think it's going to matter once we get it on. But yes, I am correct. I'm looking in the viewfinder. As I built it, you're seeing that a little more. It's not too bad, is it? My neck has nothing on it. All right, I'll speed it up and I'll do 2 layers on this side and then we'll look at it and see what we think and we'll do a wear test. Okay, I'm not too bothered by the shade choice, but it's not exactly the right shade. L2 light, so I could have gone a little bit, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know anymore. I don't trust myself, but I'm not too bothered by it. And, you know, a little bronzer will make it work. But I will say if your shade's a little too light or if, you know, you went a little too deep, you might want to stay on the light coverage side. As I build this is when I'm seeing, you know, a little more trouble with the shade. But wow, it just feels like my skin perfected. Let's see how it feels right now, but we're going to wear it for a long time. It feels moisturized and soft, but not sticky. And it's been on, what, a minute? So we're going to let it go. I'm going to check in at like a midway point, and that's where we will try our WESTMAN Atelier product and use it as a check-in. But we'll see how it goes. And when I come on to do the WESTMAN Atelier, I will have done a little bit more makeup. Again, you know, no setting spray. I'm not going to do any sort of concealer or anything because this is not, you know, we really want to see how this Armani product performs. So I won't do anything, but I'll put a little bit of bronzer on. Let's see if we can salvage this because, like I said, I've lost my touch. I need my touch back. All right, see you. And for me, it'll be a few hours. For you, it'll be just like this. Okay, that's a little bit better. I basically just put on something on my lips, you know, some mascara. I did a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, the powder bronzer, just a little bit. And that makes the shade work a little bit better. I don't know. I wish I'd gotten the right shade because here's the compliment I'm going to give it. Oh, I didn't tell you. Honestly, Rebecca, if my head weren't attached. We are 3 hours in. And the compliment that I'm going to give right now to the foundation, to the skin tint, is that I forgot I had it on. So lately, you guys know I've been doing a lot of the Guerlain skincare. I did a video about it. I'm still on board that. And I have been, because of it, I think it's making my skin look really nice. I've been doing like color corrector and no foundation. And I forgot that I did this foundation. I know it's a skin tint, but I forgot that I had it on. I thought it was just my skin. And I actually thought, oh, my skin is looking pretty good today, pretty even. And I went, I have the Armani on. That's a compliment. So it is that light. It feels nice. So 3 hours in, still feeling nice and moisturized, but absolutely no stickiness. Nothing's going to transfer or get anywhere. It just feels like my skin is nice and soft, but not with a film or anything. So it's really, really nice. Not settling into lines. Here are my pores that end up, you know, probably on, if I weren't testing a product, I would just maybe put a little powder there. I'm not putting powder on it today though, but it's no big deal. I'm not seeing any texture or pores that I get here, here, here. Looking really good. Not settling into lines here. This is really nice. Like for me, and I'm going to reserve judgment because we've got to go quite a few more hours. But right now at about 3 hours in, this is to me what I would have wanted like the Lisa Eldridge skin tint to be. Because that product didn't work for me. I felt like I'd splashed some water on my face. I don't know about you guys. I know many of you love it. But to me, this is what I would have wanted that to be. I wish I had gotten the right shade, although I'm not too far off. And we're going to let it go quite a few more hours. But while we're at it, we're going to throw in another new product to test. And that is the WESTMAN Atelier Liquid Super Loaded Tinted Highlight in the new shade. Now you're going to say, oh, Rebecca, you don't generally do shade extensions. True. But the interesting thing about this is each shade, Gucci Westman, gives each shade like a purpose. So this new Petal shade is really meant to be like a blush topper or kind of a blush and a highlighter in one. And you saw that in the swatches. So let's shake it up. So, you know, it's a new shade, but it's kind of almost a new product too, you know? So I'm going to put just a little bit on the back of my hand. And I would think, let me just rub it in here. Has a little bit of a scent, but nothing bad. See, it's almost like a bit of a glowy blush and would be super pretty over the Petal blush if you had it. Or not, or over just a matching powder blush. So definitely a blush topper, and I'm going to even go so far as to say kind of just a glowy blush. It's basically just a liquid blush, guys. It is glowy, there's no doubt about it, but it's not, this is a good product from WESTMAN Atelier. It's an expensive product, but a good product. So it's really not highlighting my pores, because I do get pores here. I'm trying to put enough of it on for you guys to really be able to see it. You know, it's very glowy. I think, hold on a minute. Okay, here is the blush and Petal. What if we combine them? Because if you keep going on and on and on with this blush topper Petal shade, the new Liquid Super Loaded Tinted Highlight, you are going to start to show pores because it's a highlighter. So if I just put, here is a lot of it. This is the actual blush, the cream blush, same shade, Petal. And now, let me just take a little bit of the highlighter, just a little bit, because we have some on there underneath it. And put that kind of on the tops and kind of as a blush topper. She does a lot with this Petal shade. So there it is. Here it is just worn as a blush, the new product on its own. And here it is over the actual Petal shade. Much prettier. Gives it a lot more depth. That means you have to buy 2 WESTMAN Atelier products? No, I mean, if you have it, if you're a fan, they do a lot with Petal. It's a whole, this is like, Petal for her is honestly like Pillow Talk is for Charlotte Tilbury. So we have 2 different looks here. I'll even it out when I'm off camera, but I do prefer this, although I did it very dark for this video. I'm going to let this go at least 4 or 5 more hours. Let's see what I can get on here, and then we'll come back and we will see how this Armani is holding up. I'm slightly suspicious because as a lighter formula, it might not be here in a few hours. So let's take a look and I'll even out the blush. Stay right there. Okay, we have 6 hours on the Armani Beauty Golden Hour Lightweight Skin Tint and 3 hours on this little combo with the WESTMAN Atelier Liquid Super Loaded Tinted Highlight. But I paired it with the cream blush of the same Petal color. First of all, and I've reapplied. This is the WESTMAN Atelier lip liner with a Tom Ford over it. I'll have all that down below in the description bar. Where I can, I try to put things up here in YouTube shopping too, so you can look for them. All right, so that obviously has just reapplied. That didn't last. Okay, let's take a look here at what we got for 6 hours. Not bad. And frankly, I think it's looking the exact same as it did at 3 hours. Honestly, I don't see any difference. The blush is a little bit lighter than how heavy I had put it on to show you guys. So that has faded a bit because it's 2 liquid products. So you know, I mean, it's not too bad. I think it's still on after 3 hours, but that's going to give you a little bit of a guide. And that's always our problem with liquid highlight and liquid blush, isn't it, guys? We're always like, is it going to last? Well, 3 hours. But the wear test is really 6 hours on the Armani skin tint. I think that is looking exactly the same as it did at 3 hours. I mean, I think it's running, it's not quite on maybe as much coverage in this area, maybe, if I were to be picky. And what I'm going to do now is I'll wear it for quite a few more hours. I've got lots else to do today before I take off my makeup. So right here on the screen, look here on the screen. If you're just playing this on audio, look on the screen right here. It will show you how long I wore it and how it lasted. I can't imagine. Look, I mean, it's asking a lot of a skin tint that says it's light coverage and maybe builds to light medium. It's asking a lot for it to put in like some sort of 16-hour day. But it does claim to be 24-hour wear, so I don't know. But I'll let you know. Right now at 6 hours, it looks like not only at 3 hours, it looks like when I put it on. So 6 hours, I mean, so far is maybe it is making a play for that 24-hour period. I think it looks actually pretty darn good. And I'm going to record the intro with it on like this. So yeah, I like it. Tell me what you think. Did you buy it and try it? I had this product for quite a while sitting here. I had some sponsored videos that I had contracted with to go earlier than this video. That's why you're waiting to see this. I know I'm usually quicker on the draw. I was here, I had it, but I was tied up. So let me know what you guys think down below, because by now you might have even tried it. And would you recommend that I get a little bit of a deeper shade? I think I need to, right? Or are you liking it now? That's just for my own personal edification. I'd love your opinion. You guys are so smart. All right, let me know. Join us over on Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget, we have a membership right here on YouTube. We have weekly lives. I would love to see you there. And let me know all of your thoughts so I can communicate with you all in the comment section. And I look forward to seeing everyone in the next video. Bye-bye.